Hi guys, how are you? Good morning. I wanted to come on and do a bit of an energy update and a bit of a breakdown because all of the energies that are coming in right now can make you feel really discombobulated. And I had made a post on Instagram last night about dreams. A lot of you guys have been experiencing some really busy and some really vivid dreams. So you might be feeling a little more tired than normal right now, and that's okay. As I was saying in the full moon video, the combination of this Cancer full moon, the gentle moon, and this Venus and Mercury retrograde kind of come together in this trifecta of gentleness, of this sort of soft support that's coming in, which is amazing. There are also these energies from the Schumann resonance, the electromagnetic frequencies, and there are a lot of solar flares coming in at the same time. So in your everyday life, you might feel like the energy is picking up, and it is. And a lot of it is from the support of this full moon and this dual retrograde. But while you're sleeping, you might be dealing with a lot of energy, a bit of chaos. There might be a lot of people popping up in your dreams. And that is coming through because of this pressure from the Schumann, the electromagnetic frequency, and from these solar flares, right? So the reason that is manifesting itself in your dream life is because we are in a process right now collectively where we are collapsing old timelines, we are merging timelines, and we are kind of building new pathways. So let me break that down for you a little bit. I feel like for a lot of us, the pandemic is when we hit a new level in our spiritual journeys. That's when the heat got put on a little bit. And so what happened is we were kind of going through our lives, some of us more tapped in than others, but we were in a very 3D life. And then we progressed into a deeper spiritual experience, right? But as we did that, we pulled all of the density, all of our bullshit, all of our baggage right there with us, right? And so we've been stuck collectively and individually in this really deep, dark night of the soul, ego deaths, trying to ascend spiritually, inner child healing, all of this stuff, right? And we kind of got lost in it. We kind of got lost in the spiritual sauce. But the way that the trend of the energy is going now, it's that it's sort of trying to bring us back around, kind of into the 3D, into our regular lives, back into life, which is why you're seeing in a lot of the readings, there are all of these messages about moving back to connection and new opportunities, like real physical opportunities, new relationships, new friendships, new projects. It's all of this energy trying to encourage us to rejoin life. But the difference between now and then is that before, when we were dragging all of this heavy, dense, like traumatic energy from our lives into our spiritual journey, now, because you have processed a lot of it, you've kind of worked your way back from the sauce. Now you are pulling all of this spiritual wisdom, the healing, your abilities, your discernment, you're pulling it right back in to the 3D. So what that means is when you started the process from where you were a few years ago to when your spiritual journey really kicked up, this process that we've been going through for a while, right? Those timelines, those pathways, the roads that you were on collapsed. But those energies were still, it's like dust. It's like if you were to drop a bridge, but there's still dust and smoke and all this stuff that kind of arises from the rubble, right? And that was a lot of the energies that you were working your way through. Old karma, old density, just these little things that were still kind of hiding in the subconscious, yes? Now, we are merging timelines. So a lot of you may actually feel as though you're kind of exactly where you were a few years ago when you started this really intense process. But the difference is that you feel different. You feel a little bit lighter. You feel like you have more of your shit together. You feel like you know yourself again. Like you as a person are back on track. It's not that it's easy. It's not that life is not still challenging, but like you just feel more consolidated, more reconciled within your own self, right? That is the merging aspect. Now, being what that is, we are now creating new pathways with this kind of dual energy moving forward. And so when I say a lot of these energies are playing out in your dreams, this is why. You may be sorting through a lot of the rubble that kind of just got lost in your subconscious that you didn't have the room to deal with or process when you were thick in the spiritual sauce. But now that we're getting closer to kind of reintegrating in with society and starting new projects and, allowing yourself to have connections and allowing yourself to show up as who you truly are and not all of these masks that you used to wear a few years ago, we're going to have to work through that energy. We're going to have to work through some of the rubble from the past that's still kind of hiding back there. We're going to have to work through fears, elements of self-doubt, all of that stuff about what's coming forward. Because as I said in, I think it was the full moon video, you're not afraid of the new. I know we say that as tarot readers all the time. It's like, don't be afraid of the new. You're not afraid of the new. You're afraid the new is going to be just like the old. And I get that. And so you're clearing through any last bits of karma. You're clearing through these old rubble energies, which is why some of these people are popping up in your dreams. And it's to clear out unfinished business from like the old timelines, from the old life, because you didn't maybe have the constitution to process all of it, to process 30, 40, a year's worth of stuff that happened to you. So those energetic pathways, even though they were collapsed, there was still rubble from them floating around. So that has to get tied up. And so you may have some of these like goodbye dreams where you're really wrapping up that energy. It is being concluded for you. And then you also may have some sleep disturbance coming in that is allowing you to express or confront or process, work through any of the fears or the self-doubt or any trepidation that you have about reintegrating back into relationships, friendships, love, business, showing up as yourself, all of that. And so that is why the dreams are so busy right now. That is why there's so many in one night. That is why they are so vivid right now, because there's this twofold kind of recycling process that you're going through of kind of clearing out the last of the clutter from the old and clearing out the subconscious blockages of the new before you get in there. Does that make sense? And so you might feel a little tired, and that's okay. But it's because you're very busy. You're very busy people on the other side of the veil. But what you might also notice as well is that as the days go on, you might find the energy to be a little bit more favorable. You might feel as like, even if you're kind of tired, you're rolling with the punches a little bit better. Your mood is slowly improving. It's not this big light switch moment. It's cumulative. It's like day after day, kind of noticing, I haven't had like a real bad day in a while. Okay, like finding yourself kind of laughing a little bit more. Even if you're tired, you're still kind of in a good temperament. It's cumulative. So as the days go on, you're going to start noticing that. And that's a good sign that you are really successfully working your way through these energies. And you might notice, again, that the energy around you might be a little bit more favorable. Things might be picking back up. But what I'm pulling in is the idea of like it comes in waves. We're always talking about blessings. We talk about breakthroughs. We talk about all of this stuff. But it's this feeling of it would be not beneficial for you to get hit with a wave. It would overwhelm the senses and almost like that fight or flight response, because a lot of you are used to kind of rugs being pulled out from underneath you. So instead, what seems to be happening is this kind of slower, more cumulative process where things are coming in waves. The energy is improving more. Your mood is improving more. Your sleep is going to settle down. It is going to regulate, right? But all of this pushing you forward, so that way you can pace yourself. You may have moments, you may have days where you are really high energy and the next day where you feel kind of burnt out. I know that that's something that I am dealing with. Overall, the improvement in the energy around me, in my energy, in my mood, it is cumulatively kind of increasing a little bit, just a little bit, but a little bit every single day. But there are a few days where I wake up and I am on like Donkey Kong. Like I am super high energy. I feel super good. I'm getting 1,000 things done. And then the next day, I might not be able to get anything done at all. I might not be able to get anything done at all. And that's okay. So if you have a few like high spurts of energy or a few dips of your energy, that's okay. Just know that you're kind of visiting the polarities of these new timelines. And then you're going to regulate right back to the center. And here comes the wave. And here comes the wave. And here comes the wave. So some of this energy may be expressed in your physical life, and the way that it may present itself in your waking life is through, one, being tired. On the other hand, some of you may feel like especially restless. It may come through as a bit of irritation or annoyance. Some of it may also be coming through as a few body aches. Now, in terms of the being tired, make sure that you're resting. If your body needs the rest, give your body what it needs. In terms of the restlessness, if that is what you were experiencing, some of you might be bopping between the two. Remember, you have skills now. You have healthy coping mechanisms. Enable them. Find something constructive to do. Personally, I have been painting something for this back wall here. It's not very good, but it is an expression of myself. It is something tactile that I can do to kind of get that restless energy out. In terms of irritation and annoyances, they are invitations for you to maintain your peace. What have I been saying since the very beginning of my channel? With every new level, there's a new devil. Oftentimes, before you kind of break on through to the other side, there's usually like a few little pokes and prods at you. It is an invitation for you to apply the wisdom that you have learned over the course of these few years. Don't let it get you out of pocket. Don't let it get you out of character. Apply your focus in a constructive way. I was talking to God, I was talking to my ancestors last night, and I was saying that over the past few weeks, I have felt like Bugs Bunny, and I am just dodging booby traps from Elmer Fudd, like all over the place. I'm like, oh, that's wanting me to get mad. Oh, that's wanting to pull me in a weird direction. Oh, over here, this energy is kind of combative. I'm not doing it. And so it's, you might have to be like Bugs Bunny. You might have to kind of bounce around these little booby trap energies and stay the course, maintain your peace, apply what you have learned. And in terms of any kind of like stiffness, ouch. In terms of any stiffness or body aches that may come through for you, again, that is some of that stuck or like dormant, that stagnant energy that's kind of hiding in your muscles, right? You hide trauma in the body, you can hide stuck and stagnant energy in your body just as much as you can trauma. So try and incorporate some exercise. I feel like a lot of you are moving into a time where you're being more physically active. That could be running a race, zooming around the block, but that could also be something like swimming. It could be something like stretching. It could be something like singing. That's a good way to get it out. Again, doing something crafty, right? Work within like your body's limits, of course, but if you are feeling any of that, use it as an opportunity to kind of move that aspect of your body or express out of that particular energy center. There is so much being kind of cleared out for you while you're sleeping. So if you are kind of experiencing some of these things while you're awake, just recognize them for what they are, kind of meet the divine halfway and do your stretches, do your crafts, do your singing, remember your lessons, remember to stay centered in your peace, right? And you'll be good. Again, all of this energy right now, it's transient. I think in many ways it's leading us up to some really beautiful stuff in February. So just kind of stay the course. And so that's pretty much what I have for you guys. There's a lot of messages that I have coming through about Aquarius season now, and the energy for February feels really good, and we're gonna break that down in our Aquarian season video that I'm gonna do either today or tomorrow, one of the days, but very shortly. Focus. I'm really tired too. I'm really tired too. I'm living on I'm living on Space Mountain right now. But yeah, so I have more messages about the energies and the way that they're shifting moving forward, right? Because we want to kind of keep our eyes forward. The backlog is dealing with itself while you're sleeping. And I will do that in the Aquarius video either today or tomorrow, whenever the rest of my brain cells make their way back into my skull. But yeah, so that is what I have for you guys. I hope that this was helpful. I hope this maybe explained some things for some of you. And I hope this was supportive for you. I love you very much. I will see you later. If you need me, you know where I'll be.